back to my channel, or welcome for the first time if you haven't been here before. I am here with two books that look familiar, but actually one of them, this is your first time seeing. So, a funny story. Here. Ta-da! I have two of each of these. So what happened was, a few months ago when I ordered this set of notebooks, a black and red one and a purple and green one, I ordered them at the end of last year. There was a postal strike in Canada and they weren't coming in. And it was getting really close to the time when I needed to start using them. So I ordered a second set from Amazon. These I ordered from the official Scribbles That Matter website. And then I ordered the second set from Amazon, and it came within a couple of days. And I decided not to cancel the first set, because I figured, so using this one for my spiritual bullet journal, I kind of want all of those to be in the same color. At least that's what I'm thinking now. So that way I have volumes and it'll look really cool. I just kind of want to do that. So I was like, okay, so I'll have a second one waiting in the wings for that. Great. And then the other purple one, my husband could take. Well, he tried and it didn't work. So you're actually seeing my spiritual bullet journal, which you've already seen, and this is one of my newest setup journals. And both have a related spread for this video. This video I thought it'd be cool to sit and show you what I'm doing for my tarot study. So as I've mentioned in a previous video, I believe it was one of my sit-downs, I've always felt a little weird about tarot. There's some sort of mental underlying thing there. Not that I have anything against it, not that I don't think it's useful for other people, just for me in the past it's been very unhealthy. And I have this beautiful deck, the Spirit Song Tarot. I'll insert a picture here. And in the process, so I fell in love with a tarot deck. My Oracle deck is fine, but I fell in love with a tarot deck. And then I started accumulating a bunch, and then I didn't end up liking most of them, or they just didn't work for me, so they ended up being gifts to friends, including that first one I gave to one of my family members who I love dearly, and I hope they are getting a lot of use out of it. This Spirit Song Tarot kept making the cut. It kept staying for some reason, and I really wanted to learn a way to use it somehow. So this past month I decided, like at the beginning or at the end of March, I decided it was time. So I started with, in this, and as you will have seen if you watched my Spiritual Bullet Journal May setup, which I will link, I just started with the card and the keywords on the card, and then I ignore the book. And I literally just am writing down what I find about this card, what I feel, what comes to my mind. And then a couple cards in, it would have been, I think, the High Priestess. I realized some cards were giving me more trouble, like I just wasn't thinking of as much. So I made this spread. And what this spread is literally I wrote out the names of all of them, except for, so the Major Arcana, I wrote the names, and then the suits are different in this deck. It's acorns, shells, feathers, and crystals. So I wrote acorns and I numbered it, and then page, knight, queen, king, and then I did that for all of them, and it goes on to this page. So what I've been doing, and I'm going to have to transfer this, but we'll get to that. So you'll notice some of them have boxes. So as I was working through the cards, if I was feeling like, this needs more time, more work, this isn't flowing as easily to me as some of the others, I'd put a little box so I could look at it and know, okay, I could use more work here, and then once I've done that work, I can check the box. So I just set it up so that way I'm ready to mark or write notes about any of them. And then I started to really love it. This deck is singing for me, it's calling to me. I want to work with it so much now, and I just want to learn it and know it. I still don't know if I'm going to ever do readings for myself the way I used to try to. Probably not. The idea of doing readings for myself makes me a little antsy, but this deck was meant to stay with me, and I'm so glad I've kept it. So I wanted to have more dedicated space, because I like having things having special spaces. Like, I do enjoy the idea of the bullet journal having everything in one spot, but I enjoy having dedicated spaces for things. So I wanted to have a dedicated space. That's where this came in. So I had this sitting in my closet, and I hate when a notebook isn't used, and you can see I just did this. So here's remnants from when my husband tried to use this as a bullet journal, but he's not a paper planner. So I wrote in Spirit Song Tarot Study, and I wrote the page it's starting on, and then I'll write the page it'll end on. So that way I have specific, if I end up having more than one deck put in here, because I have oracle decks I'd love to study. So this is like my tarot oracle journal now. And again, it's bullet journal style. Here's the thing my husband tried to set up. Left a couple blank pages, and this, I thought I was going to use this as a practice spreads, but I really don't make a lot of brand new spreads anymore. I'm very settled into my bullet journal, so when I really wanted a book for tarot and I don't have the space in my budget to get a new one, I thought this perfect. So I just gave myself, wrote Tarot Study. I like, if I've got multiple things in one book, I like to notate it somehow. And then I left a space, and then I put the Spirit Song Tarot. So if I end up making it through and I've got more space, then I can put in other tarot decks or oracle decks, and I can put washi on the side like I did here, so it's easy for me to see where different decks are. I picked this washi because it very much coordinates with the color scheme of that. So I put the title and who did the tarot. And then all I have so far is the information that I had in my previous journal, my initial thoughts and feelings. I just transferred over. I'm giving each card a page. And I'm doing that so that way I can write more on it. So what I'm imagining is I'm going to finish going through the deck as I have been, with one card at a time, writing all the things that pop into my head until that's done, and then moving on to the next card. Once I've done that, because I want to know this in depth, I want to understand this, I want to find the way to do this for me. So I'm looking at this as a process. Hanged Man is obviously one I need more work on. I will be going through each card and writing initial thoughts, feelings, beliefs, things it means to me, what it reminds me of, just associative things that help me think about what this card stands for in my brain. Then, once I've done all of that, I think I'm going to go through the deck one card at a time again, and spend a week with each card, and just see how I'm feeling if I spend time meditating on this card, if I spend more in-depth time with it. So actually studying this deck, actually learning this deck. There might be some cards where I look at and I'm like, I've spent 2 days with it and I'm good, I don't need to spend more time, in which case maybe I'll move on. I don't know, this is all very new to me. So I'll have room to write more notes. What I'll probably do is once I've written all my initials, all my initial thoughts, I'll just put a line so I can visually see the difference between like what I get from the more in-depth look. So there's 78 cards in the deck, so it started on page 11, so it'll take me to it'll go to here, page 89, and then what I will do is I will have room for, I can journal about my experiences, because I'm not going to be able to fit a bunch of journaling. So the bottom half of the page, or the remainder of the page from my initial thoughts, will be for building on those thoughts. So it'll still be jot form, point form notes. And then if I want to journal about it, that will be starting about on this page. And then I'll go through and see how that goes. Maybe after that I'll start doing some basic spreads and journaling about them to see, okay, which ones, like how do these feel to me in an actual reading, like testing spreads and just seeing and getting to know them and recording and seeing how it goes. I truly don't know if I will fill this whole book with just one tarot card, with just one tarot deck or not. If I do, cool. If I don't, cool too. Doesn't really matter to me. And I'm really excited about this. I'm very excited. And in fact, right now I'm in a place where I just want to work on it all the time. I've got a lot of things going on right now that I'm thrilled to be doing, that I'm really enjoying. I feel like I'm really getting my groove with the type of work I want to be doing, and it's really quite nice. So, I will let you go, because that's really all I've got for you in this video today. Sorry, as for that other spread, given that I have decided, and I'm going to go through every card and then spend more in-depth time with each card, I don't think that spread really ends up being needed. And what I will probably do is I'll probably go through and write all my headings, and make sure it takes me to this page, but basic math tells me it will. And then I will know what page I can start from. Should I need to make an important note, like, or a thought while I'm doing the initials, I can put that down. But that's really all I've got for you today. I will keep you updated on this if you're interested, and I think it's interesting, so I probably will anyways. Don't forget, you can leave me some comments if you've got any questions or just some thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Please like this video if you actually liked it. I'd love to see some of that. And I hope you'll come back. You can always subscribe, which would make me happy. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Love and light always. Bye.